Welcome to Artificially Literate. This is the deep dive where we take books, films, ideas, and really dig into them. We look at the stories, the deeper meanings, the philosophy behind it all.
Exactly. Whether you just love a good story or you're looking for those bigger takeaways, this is definitely the place to reflect, learn, and maybe see things a little differently.
And today, wow, we are tackling a giant. George Orwell's Animal Farm. Written, what, nearly 80 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it still feels incredibly relevant. It's not just like a cute story about animals taking over a farm. It's sharp, it's chilling, it's about power, how ideals get twisted, corruption.
For sure. So we're going to unpack it, look at what literally happens, but also connect those big philosophical ideas to today.
Right. The goal here is to pull out the key insights, give you a solid understanding of why this little book still matters so much.
Okay, let's get into it. So to really get Animal Farm, you have to start right at the beginning, right? Manor Farm, under Mr. Jones.
Ugh, yeah. Jones. He's basically the symbol of the old oppressive regime. Drunken, neglectful. The animals' lives are just awful.
Orwell lays it out really starkly, doesn't he? Miserable, laborious, short lives. That's the quote. It's just bleak, pure exploitation.
Totally. They work themselves to the bone, every last bit of strength, and for what? To be slaughtered when they're not useful anymore.
And he gives specific examples like the cow's milk being stolen, the hen's eggs.
Right. Things meant for their own young, just taken, foals sold off, horses like Boxer, just worked until they collapse and then sent to the, well, an knacker. Even the dogs, drowned when they get old. It's systematic. No agency, just servitude.
It's into this misery that Old Major steps in. The prize boar, highly respected. He has this dream, but it's more than a dream, isn't it? It's a whole critique.
Oh, absolutely. He gathers them and just lays it bare. His core idea is simple, but powerful. Man is the only real enemy we have.
Because man consumes without producing anything himself.
Exactly. He doesn't give milk, lay eggs, pull the plow. But he takes everything, the milk, the eggs, the foals. Gives back just enough to keep them alive and working. Major really hammers this home, asking them directly, what happens to your produce?
It's a powerful wake-up call. And that leads directly to his call for
Rebellion.
Yeah.
He doesn't know when. He says it could be a week, could be 100 years, but justice will come.
And he gives them the foundations, the core principles of what becomes animalism.
Really clear rules. Total enmity towards man. No adopting human habits, houses, beds, clothes, alcohol, money, trade, all seen as corrupting influences.
And the big one.
All animals are equal. That's the bedrock. And then he teaches them Beasts of England.
Ah, the song. Such a powerful moment. It paints this picture of a golden future, no whips, no harnesses, plenty of food.
And it catches on immediately, doesn't it? They learn it instantly. It ignites their imagination, this possibility of freedom.
What's interesting is how the actual rebellion happens. It's not like a carefully planned military operation.
Not at all. It's almost accidental. Jones gets drunk, forgets to feed them for a whole day. They're starving, desperate.
They just snap. They break into the store shed for food. Jones and his men come out with whips.
And the animals just turn on them. Spontaneously. It's that breaking point.
Yeah.
Jones and his men are terrified. They just run. It shows how quickly things can change when people are pushed too far.
And that initial feeling, pure ecstasy, right? Disbelief, joy. They gallop around the farm, check every corner, then destroy all the symbols of their oppression.
Yeah, the whips, the nose rings, the chains. Snowball even throws ribbons on the fire, calls them badges of slavery. It's like a ritual cleansing.
And they make that key decision about the farmhouse.
Right. Preserve it as a museum. No animal must ever live there. A really important symbolic line in the sand, you'd think. A fundamental rule for their new society.
So Jones is gone. Freedom. Now they have to build this new society. And the pigs, well, they naturally step up.
Yeah, they're seen as the cleverest.
Yeah.
We meet the main players. Snowball, lively, inventive, great speaker.
Full of ideas, yeah. Committees, literacy classes.
Then Napoleon, more reserved, fierce, kind of gets his own way quietly. And Squealer.
Ah, Squealer, the propagandist. Brilliant talker, can turn black into white, as Orwell puts it. Very persuasive, very shifty.
So these three start turning Old Major's ideas into a formal system. Animalism. Holding secret meetings, explaining it.
But it's not smooth sailing even then. There are obstacles.
Definitely. You've got Molly, the mare, only worried about sugar and ribbons. Shows that focus on personal comfort over the bigger ideal.
And Moses the raven with his tales of Sugar Candy Mountain, a distraction maybe.
Yeah, offering this sort of pie-in-the-sky reward later, potentially undermining the work needed now. And just Basic questions reveal the ingrained dependency, like, but Mr. Jones feeds us.
So to make it simple, they create the 7 commandments, write them right there on the barn wall, the unchangeable law.
Want to run through them?
Sure. 1, whatever goes on 2 legs is an enemy. 2, whatever goes on 4 legs or has wings is a friend. 3, no animal shall wear clothes.
4, no animal shall sleep in a bed. 5, no animal shall drink alcohol. 6, no animal shall kill any other animal.
And the crucial number 7, all animals are equal.
And in that moment, everyone agrees. So much hope. The first harvest is a huge success, even better than under Jones. Boxer is amazing.
I will work harder. His motto. He really throws himself into it. The ideal worker, totally dedicated.
Then comes the first sign of trouble, right at the very start, the milk.
Yeah. The cows need milking. They produce 5 buckets of this rich, creamy milk. And Napoleon steps in and says, never mind the milk, comrades. The harvest is more important.
And when they come back in the evening,
It's gone. Just vanished. Napoleon attended to it, all right? It's subtle, easily missed, but it's the first crack, the first quiet act of appropriation, setting the stage.
it really is. And thinking about this first part, philosophically, you see the sheer power of ideals, right? How that promise of equality and freedom can mobilize everyone, just like in real-world revolutions.
But you also see the danger signs. Molly's apathy, Benjamin's cynicism, that sort of nothing ever changes attitude, and Boxer's blind loyalty, his I will work harder. These different forms of inaction or unquestioning faith, they undermine the collective effort.
Absolutely. And that seed of corruption is planted immediately with the milk. It shows how power, even in the hands of revolutionaries, can start to erode principles almost instantly. It's a warning about power dynamics in any group.
And the narrative, Beasts of England, is so powerful as a rallying cry, but it also creates this shared story that, as we'll see, can be manipulated later.
It's all there, right from the start. That dedication, I will work harder, becomes almost tragic later.
Okay, so the revolution's happened, Jones is gone. Now the animals, led by the pigs, start trying to spread the word.
Yeah, Snowball and Napoleon sent out pigeons, like little feathered messengers carrying the news of the rebellion and teaching Beasts of England to animals on other farms. Propaganda, really.
And how do the humans react? The other farmers?
Initially, they just laugh. Think it's ridiculous that Animal Farm will collapse in like 2 weeks. But then, when it doesn't collapse, when the animals actually seem to be managing,
Fear sets in.
exactly, they start spreading their own counter-propaganda. Nasty stories about the animals fighting, starving, practicing cannibalism. Anything to discredit the whole idea,
But the song, Beasts of England, it keeps spreading, doesn't it?
like wildfire.
Yeah.
Despite the farmers trying to stamp it out, it becomes this underground anthem, genuinely scaring the humans. It represents this potential uprising everywhere.
Back on Animal Farm, though, things aren't quite so unified anymore. Internal conflicts start brewing, especially between Snowball and Napoleon.
Oh, big time. They disagree on everything. Snowball is all about innovation, progress for everyone. The windmill project is his big idea, plus all these committees for education, improving things.
He's the visionary, the orator.
Right. While Napoleon is quieter, more focused on consolidating power, specifically by educating the young, those puppies he takes away. Very different strategies.
And the windmill becomes the major flashpoint.
Huge. Snowball paints this amazing picture. Electricity, less work, more leisure, time for self-improvement. A technological utopia almost.
Napoleon just pours cold water on it. Focus on food production now, he says. Practicality over dreams.
The animals are completely divided, swayed by Snowball's speeches, then pulled back by Napoleon's arguments, and Benjamin the donkey just stays cynical. Life will go on as it always has, he says, badly. He sees the whole thing as futile.
And then, the coup. It's sudden, brutal.
Totally shocking. Right when Snowball seems to have won the argument about the windmill, Napoleon lets out this high-pitched whimper.
And the dogs appear. Those 9 puppies he'd hidden away and trained. Now they're huge, ferocious.
And completely loyal to Napoleon. They chase Snowball right off the farm. It's terrifying. The animals are stunned. They realize these dogs are Napoleon's enforcers, just like Jones had his men. The power dynamic shifts violently.
This is the real turning point, isn't it?
Absolutely. Snowball's gone. Napoleon immediately dismantles any remaining democracy. No more Sunday debates, waste of time, he says. All decisions made by a pig committee led by him.
And any protest.
Crushed instantly. The dogs growl menacingly, and the sheep start bleating. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. Over and over, drowning out any dissent. It's the first open use of force to silence opposition.
Enter Squealer, in his prime.
Oh yeah, this is where he really earns his keep. He becomes Napoleon's spin doctor, justifying everything. First job, rewrite history.
Snowball wasn't a hero. He was a traitor all along.
Exactly. A secret agent for Jones from the start. Squealer is brilliant in a horrible way. He confuses them, questions their memory. Are you sure you remember that? He gaslights them into doubting their own eyes and ears.
And he justifies the pigs getting special treatment, like the milk and apples.
Says it's necessary for their brain work. They needed to manage the farm otherwise. Well, you know.
Surely none of you wishes to see Jones back.
That's the line. Always. Playing on their deepest fear. Classic tactic. Control through fear.
And Boxer. Poor Boxer buys into it.
He's disturbed by Snowball's expulsion, but his loyalty is just, absolute. He adopts his second motto. Napoleon is always right. Alongside, I will work harder. It's heartbreaking, really, that unquestioning faith.
Squealer even claims Napoleon only pretended to oppose the windmill as a tactic to get rid of the dangerous Snowball.
Yeah, tactics, he calls it. The animals don't really understand, but they accept it. Squealer's too persuasive, and the dogs are too scary.
And then, the big reversal, Napoleon announces they are going to build a windmill after all.
Claiming it was his idea all along. Stolen by Snowball, it's audacious. And it kicks off this period of incredibly hard labor, much harder than under Jones.
Boxer is central here again, isn't he?
Totally. Inspired by his mottos, he works himself relentlessly, hauling stone, getting up early, your devotion to Napoleon and the project. He's literally sacrificing himself.
But more contradictions start piling up. Violations of the original principles, like engaging in trade with humans.
A huge one. They need materials for the windmill, so Napoleon hires Mr. Wimber, a human solicitor, to act as an intermediary. This goes directly against those early resolutions about no contact with humans, no trade, no money.
Do the animals notice?
Some feel uneasy. They have this vague memory that this wasn't allowed. But Squealer steps in again.
Are you certain that is not something you have dreamed, comrades? Have you any record of such a resolution?
Gaslighting again. And most can't read the commandments anyway.
Exactly. And the sheep are always ready with 4 legs good, 2 legs bad to shut down any discussion.
Then the pigs move into the farmhouse. Another broken rule.
A really blatant one. Sleeping in beds. Clover remembers the rule against beds, gets Muriel the goat to read the 4th commandment.
And it's changed. No animal shall sleep in a bed with sheets.
So clever, so insidious. Squealer explains that a bed is just a place to sleep, like a pile of straw. The real problem was sheets, a human invention. And besides, the pigs need comfort for their brain work.
Otherwise, Jones might come back. Always. That constant threat, it's this pattern. Break a rule, rewrite the rule, justify it with propaganda and fear. A slow creep towards total control.
It's worth pausing here to think about what this part shows us. The corruption of power is just so stark. How quickly ideals decay when there are no checks and balances.
Definitely. And Squealer is the ultimate propagandist, twisting truth, manipulating memory, using fear. It makes you think about how information is controlled in our own world, doesn't it? How easily doubt can be sown.
And the principles just erode away, slowly, bit by bit, until the original goals are almost forgotten. It's incremental.
Which works because many, like Boxer or the sheep, are either uneducated, unquestioning, or lack critical thinking skills. They're vulnerable to manipulation.
And the irony of progress. They work harder than ever for less food, supposedly for this great project, the windmill, but who really benefits?
The pigs and dogs. It mirrors how sacrifices are often demanded in authoritarian systems, benefiting only the elite while everyone else is told they're free.
It really comes back to Boxer's motto, doesn't it?
I will work harder. Yeah. Such powerful, tragic dedication.
If you're finding this deep dive into Animal Farm insightful, just a reminder that this is Artificially Literate. You can find more discussions like this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Do follow us so you don't miss out. Okay, let's get back to the farm as things take an even darker turn.
So as we move into the final stretch of the book, things get really grim. A harsh winter hits. Food runs desperately short for everyone. Except, mysteriously, the pigs and dogs.
What Squealer keeps telling them, everything's getting better.
Oh, yeah. He reads out endless figures, lists, statistics proving that production is up, rations are better than under Jones. Complete fabrications, but delivered with such confidence. Meanwhile, Napoleon becomes even more remote, almost never seen in public, ruling through Squealer. Untouchable.
And the windmill gets destroyed again.
Well, the first time it gets destroyed is by a storm, a gale. But Napoleon doesn't let a crisis go to waste. He immediately blames Snowball. Pure sabotage, he claims. Puts a death sentence on him.
Keeps Snowball alive as this constant invisible enemy.
Exactly. It justifies Napoleon's power. Distracts from failures, keeps everyone scared. Any problem can be blamed on Snowball.
Then comes the hens' rebellion. That feels like a real escalation.
It is. Napoleon demands their eggs for sale to buy grain. The hens protest its murder, they say, and smash their eggs. Napoleon's response is brutal. Starve them into submission, cuts off their rations completely.
And 9 hens die.
Yeah, officially from coccidiosis, but everyone knows why. It's the first mass killing of animals by animals since the rebellion, a direct violation of the commandment, no animal shall kill any other animal. A terrifying threshold is crossed.
This ushers in a real reign of terror, doesn't it? Scapegoating becomes constant.
Snowball is blamed for everything. Lost key, Snowball, broken window, Snowball, wheeze in the weed, Snowball. Even when it makes no sense, truth doesn't matter anymore. Only the narrative matters.
And the confessions. The scene is just horrifying.
Chilling. Animals are dragged forward by the dogs, terrified, and forced to confess to all sorts of fabricated crimes, collaborating with Snowball, plotting against Napoleon, and then they're executed on the spot, torn to pieces by the dogs.
In front of everyone.
Yeah. Boxer is horrified. The other animals realize this is completely against everything they fought for. The air is thick with the smell of blood and fear. It's pure terror as a tool of control.
Clover's reaction sums it up, doesn't she? Looking out over the farm, thinking, this was not what they had aimed at.
Exactly. This terror, this slaughter, it's the total opposite of Old Major's dream. She starts singing Beasts of England, sadly, mournfully.
And Squealer immediately bans it.
Right. Says the rebellion is over, the song's fulfilled its purpose, it's not needed anymore. Replaces it with a new, bland song praising Napoleon, written by Minimus, the pig poet. It's like erasing the soul of the revolution.
And they keep rewriting the rules, the commandments on the wall.
Constantly being amended. No animal shall kill any other animal becomes no animal shall kill any other animal without cause. Convenient.
And no animal shall drink alcohol becomes no animal shall drink alcohol to excess.
Which pops up right after the pigs discover a case of whiskey, and Napoleon gets terribly drunk. Squealer is always there, convincing the animals their memory is faulty, that the commandments always said that. They literally rewrite the law overnight.
Napoleon himself becomes almost deified.
Totally. Gets all these ridiculous titles. Father of all animals, terror of mankind, has bodyguards, eats separately from porcelain dishes, has poems written about him. Every success is credited to his leadership. A personality cult.
And then, Boxer. The most loyal, the hardest worker, his fate is just devastating.
His lungs give out. He collapses from overwork. He pushed himself too hard with I will work harder, and Napoleon is always right, and when he can no longer work.
They say they're sending him to a hospital.
But Benjamin, the cynical donkey who can read, finally gets involved. He realizes the van isn't from a hospital. It says Alfred Simmons, horse slaughterer, and glue boiler.
Oh, it's gut-wrenching. They're sending him to the knacker's yard.
The ultimate betrayal. The most devoted follower. Sold for profit. Benjamin tries to raise the alarm, but it's too late.
And Squealer's story afterwards.
A masterpiece of disgusting propaganda. Claims Boxer died peacefully in the hospital, praising Napoleon with his last breath. Utter lies. And the final insult.
They used the money they got for selling Boxer.
To buy another case of whiskey for the pigs. They celebrate his death by indulging in a human vice, paid for by his loyal life. It's the absolute lowest point.
Years pass. The farm changes, but not for the better for most.
Memories fade. The younger generation only knows Napoleon's rule and Squealer's lies. The farm might be richer, the windmill eventually gets built, but only the pigs and dogs benefit from it. They do paperwork, which somehow justifies them doing no physical labor and eating most of the food.
A complete reversal of Old Major's critique of man.
Exactly. And then comes the final, shocking transformation.
The pigs start walking on 2 legs.
The ultimate taboo. Squealer teaches the sheep a new chant. 4 legs good, 2 legs better.
And the 7 commandments disappear from the wall, replaced by one single commandment.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. The ultimate Orwellian doublespeak. The final justification for tyranny.
And they start acting completely like humans, wearing clothes, carrying whips, using phones, reading newspapers.
Napoleon even changes the farm's name back. No more Animal Farm. It's the Manor Farm again, erasing the revolution entirely. Removes the flag symbols, buries Old Major's skull. It's a complete return.
And that final meeting with the human farmers.
So ironic. Pilkington and the others visit, admire how disciplined the farm is, how little the animals are fed, how hard they work. Pilkington even makes that chilling joke.
If you have your lower animals to contend with, we have our lower classes. Shows the fundamental similarity between the oppressors.
And then the animals look through the window. Pigs and men are playing cards, arguing.
They looked from pig to man and from man to pig and from pig to man again, but already it was impossible to say which was which.
The cycle is complete. The pigs have become indistinguishable from the human tyrants they overthrew. The revolution has totally devoured itself.
It's such a powerful ending. And thinking about the implications today, it's a timeless warning about how easily revolutions can be betrayed, how power corrupts absolutely.
Regardless of initial intentions, and the danger of rewriting history, controlling information. Squealer's tactics are all around us, aren't they? We have to be so vigilant about questioning narratives.
Boxer's fate is just a symbol of how the loyal and hardworking can be exploited and discarded by those in power. It's heartbreaking, but also a stark political point.
And how tyranny becomes normalized. Those small changes, the constant propaganda, the fear. People just get used to oppression bit by bit.
Until the new boss looks exactly like the old boss, that final image, it's a warning against becoming the thing you fight against. Constant vigilance is needed.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. It just says it all, doesn't it?
The creatures outside looked from pig to man and from man to pig and from pig to man again, but already it was impossible to say which was which. It really makes you think, doesn't it? About power, about revolution, about equality. How do we fight for a better world without becoming the very thing we oppose? Something to ponder.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into Animal Farm on Artificially Literate. We really hope it's giving you some food for thought about this incredible book and why it still resonates so strongly.
You can find Artificially Literate, as always, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please do check out our other deep dives, follow us if you enjoyed this, and definitely stay tuned for our next book.
All animals are equal.
Thanks for listening to Artificially Literate.